Hi everyone, Mizhelle here. You're watching Tokyo Past 3. Now, if you've been following this channel, then you'd know that earlier this year I was diagnosed with NASH, a severe form of fatty liver disease. Now, reversing this requires weight loss, which is why today in this video I wanted to share with you my approach to diet and nutrition. Now, I want to make it clear that every body is different and what may work for me may not work for you. So if you want good advice on nutrition and diet, it's probably best to consult with a nutritionist and not someone you just see on the internet. I made this video mainly to share what food options I found in Japan because when I started, I really had no idea what alternatives were accessible to me. With that said, here's what I ate in a week to lose weight in Japan. They are starting off with stir-fried shirataki noodles and spicy peanut butter sauce. The recipe is from this awesome channel called Velu Fit by Cooking. Here you can see me preparing the sauce. You can eyeball it if you want, but since I'm trying to lose weight, I used a weighing scale and portion it according to the recipe. Next, I am preparing the shirataki noodles, which I've already drained and run under cold water. This is an extra step, but I'm boiling it to get rid of the smell. Shirataki noodles are stinky, fresh from the pack, but mixed with sauces, it is heavenly, not to mention crazy low in calories. Next, I'm browning my chicken and veggies. I had a bunch of frozen veggies lying around, so I just added them. After sufficient browning, I set them aside and I then put in the shirataki noodles and fried them for a bit before adding back the chicken and veggies and mixing the sauce. That's supposed to be in the video too, but I don't know where that file went. Lastly, I am adding a bunch of pakchi because why the hell not? Alright, so we have our miso soup and our stir-fried noodles with pakchi. Can't wait to dig in. This is pretty good. I could eat this every day. It's tangy and it has a kick, and paired with pakchi, really, it's so good. Like, of course there are some people who don't like pakchi at all, but the first time I tried to cook this, I didn't put pakchi in, and then I realized I could put it. What is life without pakchi? And my chicken to noodle ratio is kind of off, so I suggest that you make the necessary adjustments when you cook this. But really, you need to try this. It's so good. It's low calorie. It's good for the body. I'll see you again tomorrow for another recipe. Day 2 is all about tuna melt, and this recipe comes from Tabi Eats, where they eat all sorts of good stuff. Here I am combining 2 cans of tuna with 2 boiled eggs. I'm then adding black pepper, low-calorie mayo, you can tell by the yellow cap, and sriracha. Mine turned out watery because of the tuna water, so you have the option of taking that out. For the bread, I'm using whole wheat, which is zenryufun in Japanese. Notice that the label just says zenryufun iri, which means it uses some whole wheat flour, but to what extent, we don't really know. You can always get whole wheat bread in proper bakeries. They're, after all, healthier than processed white bread. After buttering up the slices, I use a grill pan to get a nice char on the bread. In another pan, I'm pouring in the tuna mixture and then adding the cheese slices. And now I'm putting it all together to make 2 delicious tuna melt sandwiches, finishing everything off with a side of chips. Okay, this is the finished product, and there's another sandwich left on the kitchen counter. I don't know if I'm still hungry, I'll probably eat that sandwich or just eat it later. Anyway, I'm gonna dig in. And I don't know why I ate the potato chip first. 久しぶりだからね。はい、いきます。I feel like this could have benefited from a sandwich press, which would make everything a little bit more even, probably easier to put in the mouth. But yeah, other than that, the taste is good. I don't taste a lot of the sriracha. I kinda prefer it a little bit more spicy, so If you're gonna follow the Tubby Eats recipe, and if you like spicy food, then maybe add a little bit more kick into this. But other than that, it's pretty good. Yep, now I'm gonna finish my lunch, and I'll see you tomorrow for another delicious recipe. Am I getting weirder as the week goes on? Yeah, it's probably a lot of work, you know. Day 3 is tuna kimchi oatmeal. When you look up weight loss recipes in Japan, oatmeal is what's gonna come up the most. And once you've tried it, it's easy to understand why. The steps are simple. You add 30 grams of oatmeal into a bowl, add 50 milliliters of water and a can of tuna before microwaving for a minute. After that, you add a savory seasoning of your choice. Here I added some steak sauce and some sesame oil. Add kimchi and then cheese. I used vegan cheese for mine because that's what I had in the fridge. Microwave everything for a minute or until the cheese melts. After that, have a topping party of your choice. I added some sesame seeds, nori flakes, and an onsen egg. Perfect combination. Of all the meals so far, this has been the easiest to prepare, which is why it's perfect for people on the go. So I'm just gonna mix everything. Slice the egg. It's so sticky. There you go. So good. You can never really go wrong with tuna and kimchi. I mean, this is a classic combo. And they're both healthy too. And you add oatmeal to that. Really good. Okay, so I'm gonna go watch Stranger Things 4 while I finish this, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Day 4 is a Filipino dish called Binagoongan. This is usually made with pork, but today I'm using tofu. I start by slicing an eggplant into bite-sized pieces. Next, I'm cutting up tofu. I like to buy atsuage, which is tofu that has already been deep fried. Since I'm dicing these, I still have to brown the other sides of the tofu because I like them crispy. After frying the tofu and the eggplant separately, I set them aside. Next, I heat up some oil and add a chili pepper, which I'm taking out after a few minutes because I just want the flavor. I then put in the sauté staples, onions, garlic, and tomatoes. After that comes the star ingredient, bagoong. It's paste made of fermented seafood, which is a very strong taste. You can find it in Filipino grocery stores in Japan or just order from Amazon. Once that's nice and bubbly, I add a tablespoon of vinegar and brown sugar. I then add sliced green chili pepper and iringi mushrooms. Finally, I add the fried eggplant slices and tofu and mix them all together until all the ingredients are coated well with the sauce. Here you can see me plating the dish with shirataki rice. These days, I only eat rice when I'm out. Shirataki rice is way lower in sugar content and calories, so it works well for me. Here's a tip: Filipino food is always eaten with a spoon and a fork. It's rarely without these two, really. These are our main two cutleries to eat food with, and because I'm about to run out of battery, I'm gonna go and dig in. That is good. That is good. Nothing beats Filipino food. We have Tofu Japchae for day 5. I found a ready-to-use bulgogi japchae pack in my local supermarket, so that's what we're using today. But instead of beef, I'm using tofu. I start by putting the sauce in a bowl and then adding buria mushrooms as well as iringi. These iringi were leftovers. I figured I could just use them. I then cut my tofu and fry it to a crisp. This is how I like it, golden brown on all sides. I then saute garlic and onions. I add sliced carrots, paprika, and the mushrooms coated in sauce. In comes the cabbage and the fried tofu plus a spoonful of hemp seeds. The hemp seeds are optional. I just put them there because I've read that they do wonders for the skin. Lastly, I put in the harusame and keep the fire going until it's softened up into the shiny glass noodles that they are. So we have our japchae here, and we still have our binagoongan from yesterday. So I'm gonna enjoy both. Lots of tofu. This is good for 2 to 3 people according to the package, and obviously you can see in the ryo. Normally I think people would eat it with other dishes, but I don't know, I just kind of like it on my own. I did not have the energy to cook another dish. So this is fine on its own for me. Plus it's with shirataki rice. Definitely good. Like, that sauce is sticky and sweet, and everything else complements the whole dish. I mean, I love the way I cook my tofu show. Really, season it any way you want, and I'm still gonna eat that tofu. For day 6, we have vegan burger, and the idea came up after I saw this on a supermarket shelf. It's a vegan patty from Moss Burger. Each can contains 2 patties. For the bread, I'm using rye English muffin, again a slightly healthier alternative that you can find in most supermarkets. First thing I'm making is the sauce. For this, I mixed cilantro and avocado. It was a bit difficult to do this with this hand blender, so I suggest using a mixer instead. With much patience, I managed to make a cilantro sauce that I can use in other sandwiches. Burgers are best eaten with fries, so I'm also frying potatoes for this dish. I didn't have my air fryer yet at the time of filming, so this was just good old potatoes in oil. Next, I'm heating the patty and the bread on a grill pan to get those nice char lines. And then it's assembly time. So we've got bread, lettuce, vegan patty, a tomato slice, a slice of cheese, that delicious cilantro and avocado sauce. Top with another patty, cilantro sauce, sliced cheese, a tomato, and finally a bread slice to finish off our double cheese vegan burger. Yummy! The vegan burger doesn't taste anything like beef, but it does taste like meat, just meat. I don't know what kind, but it tastes good. Everything else tastes delicious. I mean, you saw all the ingredients anyway, right? There's cheese here, there's tomato, there's lettuce, and there's our cilantro sauce, which pairs really well with the rest of the ingredients. So it's pretty good, and it's double patty without that much guilt. And those are the 6 meals that I ate in a week. There should have been a day 7, but since I recorded this in June, I don't even recall what happened while I was recording. In any case, the week that I did this, I actually lost 1 kilo. And to date, in the 7 months that I've been doing this diet, I've lost a total of 8. Now, I know that's not a lot because some people actually lose like 1 kilo every week or every 2 weeks. But I find that doing this diet is a little bit more sustainable for me. I don't really binge. I had a problem with dieting and binging before, but right now I think it's more manageable because I genuinely enjoy what I eat. I don't really feel deprived. For me, it's a lot of progress because I've been stuck for a long time, and finally I'm seeing that weight loss progress. But there's a lot I still need to work on when it comes to balance, because I did go to my annual physical at the end of July and I found out that I was anemic. You may have noticed that in the video I shied away from eating meat, and that showed in my latest results. Balance is really important when it comes to nutrition, and that's a lesson learned for me. If you want to see more of the Fat in Japan series where I share my struggles as a fat person in Japan, click the playlist popping in your screen. I can probably put it here. And I'll see you next time for another video. Bye!